Hey guys, this is a bit of a random recording today, but I saw some discussion in Discord about what about campaign farming and kind of what makes a good campaign farmer versus what doesn't. And I just kind of got the inspiration to talk a little bit about campaign farming in general. So in one of my recent videos, I did show you guys that I had a Fellhound. That's who I use to farm 12-3 Brutal. And one of the comments in Discord was, oh, I guess I just need to get a Fellhound. Well, no, you don't. There are plenty of other great options for campaign farming. Well, the reason Fellhound is so good, if we take a look at him real quick, um, I gotta find him, of course. So the reason Fellhound is so good is A, he's a rare. B, he's a one trick, meaning that I'm only gonna use him in campaign farming. So I don't have to worry about his gear, or I don't have to worry about him being specifically good in other areas, if that makes sense. I have specific targets in mind where for his damage output and his speed, and that's it. And he's difficult to gear. I will say that. Like, you're not going to be able. You'll see. I got a lot of 6-star and 5-star pieces on him. You're not going to be able to gear up a Fellhound, on day one of an account. Maybe not even month one or month two. Like, building up your campaign farmer, it takes time, and I made that mistake. You'll look. Another great campaign farmer is Saurus. And I made the terrible mistake of thinking I was ready to have Saurus as my campaign farmer. Um, and I was completely wrong. I did not have anywhere close to the gear I needed to turn a um, uncommon into a campaign farmer. Saurus's gear requirements are way higher. You can find all these resources online about what target attack number you want in order for them to become a campaign farmer. But for whether it's Saurus, Fellhound, or whatever. But I do want to kind of talk about Saurus a little bit. So I'm rocking him in a stun set now. This is for Faction Wars. I have him as a 60. But why is Saurus considered a good campaign farmer? So a couple of things. First thing that you're looking for in campaign farmer is AoE attacks, AoE hits. And so Saurus has two AoE attacks all enemies 2 times, attacks all enemies. So that means that even if this is on cooldown, he's still going to do an AoE attack with this ability here. And that's important. That's what you want. Now, what about Fellhound? Fellhound is good because his A1 is AoE attack and his damage is based on defense and attack. This is very valuable because I get double benefit from certain pieces of gear. So I can put him in an attack chest or a defense chest, right? If there's a piece of gear, like for instance, I don't think I really have anything that has both attack and defense on it. Um, but anywhere there's defense, that's giving him help, right? He's actually gaining damage out of it. Anywhere there's attack, he's gaining damage out of it. So there, I can put any ring on him. Actually, why don't I have an HP ring on him? That's interesting. I have not looked at his gear in a long time. You'll see like a 4-star crit damage. This is his piece. I have no reason to mess with his kit because he clears all the content for me that I want him to do. So his gear has been the same for a very long time. But anyways, um, his A1 is based off of defense and attack, and it attacks all enemies. So all you need to do is make sure he's faster than Lord Khazar, I think it is, um, and Lord Shazar. It doesn't matter, but the bomb guy in 12-3 Brutal, as long as you're faster than him, your Fellhound can just stack damage, and the speed that you're looking for to be able to be faster than him is it's actually even lower, I think, than 125. So let's look up Lord Shazar real quick while I'm thinking about it. Yeah, so yeah, Lord Shazar, he has 101 speed. You need a minimum of 102 speed. I think at the time I struggled to hit the right speed requirement, and so I just put him in um different gear. But it, like I said, he's built I don't need to mess with his kit anymore. He clears it every time, never fails. So I'm not gonna tinker and try and optimize it at this point. That gear is now just basically considered locked. So, but let's talk about some other campaign farmers that are good. So one of the ones that was mentioned is another rare, and I want to say that Bellower is not only a good he's not only a good campaign farmer, he's also just kind of good. So his A1 attacks all enemies and has a chance to block active skills. Attacks all his A2 attacks all enemies and can decrease speed. It's the weak version, and then attacks all enemies and decrease attack or decrease defense if ascended. Um, this ability, it's probably the weak decrease attack if I had to guess, or maybe not. It might be the strong decreased or decreased defense, but either way, the point is that he's just a good champion in general. But why is he such a good um, campaign farmer? Attack all enemies, attack all enemies, attack all enemies, attack all enemies. Like it's just everything here attacks all enemies, and that's huge. So he does nothing but AoE damage. So I rock him in a stun set. This is for Faction Wars, which has worked out great. But just the fact that he can do all that AoE damage, and if you're not going to use him as a campaign farmer and you do put him in a stun set, it's really, really solid because for the secret rooms that require rare champions. But there are others out there too. So the main thing you're looking for is A1 AoE damage if you can find it. The other great campaign farmers are gonna be the starter champions. So if you're relatively new, right? Your first 60, everyone says this, and I completely agree with it. Your first 60 needs to be your starter champion. It doesn't matter if you get Rhonda, it doesn't matter if you get Ultimate Death Knight or whatever legendary you get, or even epic you get to start with if you use a promo code. Your starter champion is still the all around better choice. And the reason for that is because they are the jack of all trades. All of them come with a strong AoE nuke, not godlike or anything like that, but a decent enough AoE nuke. They all come with a heavy hitting, A1 single target for the most part, right? And they bring essential value. And so in the case of Alhaine, what makes her pretty decent campaign farmer is that she gets two AoEs. Kale's is not completely because this is 4 times at random, and I've never bothered to level the other two. But Alhaine's a decent campaign farmer. All of them are, all of the starter champions are, but I'm gonna talk about Alhaine because I have her, and she was my starter champion for this account. Okay, so she comes in first. She uses Valley of Death, right? Then she kills the next wave with Lightning Arrow. She uses A1 once, and then she A2s or A3s again, and now everything's dead. Is it longer than Fellhound, who just does it 4 times? Yes, definitely longer. But she can still pump out a lot of damage and makes for a great campaign farmer. There are a couple others out there. I talked about Saurus. If you can build them right and they have, an AoE A1 or A1, sometimes there are options like that. Like I've always thought that Deliana might be a reasonable one if you can hit the required nuke targets, if you can get the amount of damage out of her. Because she can nuke them down with the A3 and then use the A1. The biggest thing is that because of the nature of campaign farming, you can't really turn off her A2. Like you're not going to have a team set up for this, and that's going to be the limiting factor. That's going to slow her down quite a bit. She's going to A2, which is a single target attack. But I still thought she might be a good choice. Most of you that have been playing for as long as I have, I started playing when Deliana was first introduced to the game. I can't remember. Is it Yannicka that has? No. I feel like there's one that looks like this that has a lot of AoE attacks. There are certainly other ones out there that a lot of content creators will talk about, but specifically, I kind of wanted to point out that your starter champions, Bellower, Saurus is one with a high gear requirement, and obviously Fellhound are great campaign farmers. Queen Ava is a good one as well. I think that's literally all she's considered good for. She's Dark Elves, right? Yeah. Maybe? Oh, yeah, there she is. Queen Ava. Um, okay, yeah, so that's why she's good. I've never used her, never had her. If Queen Ava uses her A3 to start and she can kill them, then she just gets her A3 three times in a row because of the way that it resets if she gets a kill. And it has a 15% chance of inflicting a critical hit, which makes the gear requirements even lower. So you can come in at 85% crit rate and still nuke people down. So if you happen to get a Queen Ava, she's a good option as well. But the reason Fellhound is so good is the animation, and that's if you're looking for fine like refinement in campaign farming, animation is a big factor there. So the animation for Fellhound is super quick. So we'll go through here. Let me bring in another food real quick, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So you'll see Fellhound boom, 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 right? Now, so that's, 6 seconds. If I do make one small change, so let's try. My Elhain is not geared out at all, right? My Kale is probably geared enough to do this, but well, let's try it. Let's just see what happens, right? I don't mind wasting a little bit of energy here just to make the video. So yeah, Kale killed one shot. Um, doesn't quite get everybody here, but you'll see he'll just single target them down because he's a 60. Boom. Like, he's not going to die, right? But this is so much slower, right? And there we go. So we're looking at 23 seconds. Now, is that going to, be a huge difference? No. So, if you're looking to get a good campaign farmer going, that's not bad. 23 seconds is not bad. Other champions like Rhonda, my Rhonda is she might not even have masteries on her, to be honest. So she can nuke the first wave. And these animations are quick. Like that, those are quick animations, but that's two single target attacks she had to do. 3 single target attacks she had to do. And so she was actually faster than Kale, which is, kind of what you would expect. But I don't know what kind of gear and stuff she has on her, but ideally you're just looking for somebody that can be super super fast with the animations. Saurus is, like I said, his animations are quick, which is another reason why he's so good. It's just that he's harder to gear. The gear requirements are that much higher. And you cannot, with Saurus, you cannot afford to leave anybody alive ever. Every now and then, my Lord Shazar, when I go to kill him, will stay alive. You can't have that on Saurus because Saurus will instantly die. He has no HP. So that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to go over a little bit of the like what makes a good campaign farmer and everything like that. So I hope this helps you guys consider some options on your roster for a good campaign farmer. Um, it's just, and it's not a requirement. Like I said, I used Elhain until I got to a point where I felt like I could gear up Fellhound. And he's been my campaign farmer even before he got the 5-star ascension. So that's not a necessity or a requirement by any means. He was still my campaign farmer for a long time before I got that ascension. And you just got to hit certain. You're looking for certain targets on both attack and defense. So I'm honestly You'll see, like I'm at 250 crit rate, right? I am at 100%, or sorry, 100% crit rate, 246 crit damage. Masteries on him. This is it. This is all I need to put on him, guys. This is it. I'm not gonna go down the whole train. This is all I need. In fact, yeah, the defense 75. I wanted to make sure that was the defense one. Um, this is all I needed. I wanted to give the increased crit rate and crit damage, and we're good. And I had leftover, so I took this one's a really good one because he's always at full HP. So Fellhound super strong, but yeah, you don't need to put too many masteries in them. The artifact requirement is relatively high, but if you have good gear, like most of these have bad rolls, if I'm being honest. Um, I'm just looking for crit rate and crit damage. But I'd love to see crit rate, crit damage, and attack and defense percent. And like you can see, some of these I could definitely put more enchants and stuff on to get higher. Uh, yeah, like a 3%. I could get a 4 or 5% on there. Same here. If I wanted to strengthen him a little bit more. Now I have a whole lot more accessories than when I first built him, so I could put stronger accessories on him if I wanted to. Um, the banner is pretty good. That's a really good roll right there. The crit damage, I definitely have better crit damage. I probably have better crit damage once not even in use. Yeah, here's a 5-star crit damage that I could upgrade if I wanted to. So lots of great, you know, so yeah, it's achievable. So just if you guys have any questions about, campaign farmer or anything like that, just as always, ask in the Discord, ask in the comments, and we can talk about that. If there's anything that you'd like me to make a video on to kind of better explain or kind of help you understand stuff in the game better than just the way that we type it, let me know. I'm happy to make videos. They're short and sweet, with very little prep time. So, all right, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I will see you all later.